Fired up for this one, baby. Yeah. All right. The 4 levels of action. 4 levels of action. I actually got this from from a mentor of mine. Okay, a Grant. Okay, he's a beast. He is a beast. Okay, I love this guy. Like, he teaches me so much, and like just my list, I get mind blown. And I was like, man, I just gotta share it with these guys. The 4 levels of action. There's the do nothing. There's a retreater. Okay, there's the normal, right? And then there is massive action. And notice, I want you to notice, you will be told to do 3 of those 4. You will be told to do 3 of those 4. Very rarely will you have people tell you to live life in massive action. And I've been in all 4. Like I have done all 4. Okay. And to be honest, and be straight up with you guys, most of the people, right, that are in this group and that will continue or are currently doing this program, right, are probably in phase 3, and they've been open to being in stage 4, massive action. Okay. So if you're here, right, you're probably right around 3, and you've, and so like getting you to that stage 4 will change everything for you. Okay. Like programs and theories, it's all BS. It's all just theories, programs, studies, all that. It's all a bunch of BS. Throw it out, right? Because this is what is going to get you to where you want to go. The do nothing people. Do nothing, right? This is a withdrawal of no purpose, of no vision, of completely justifying, like lethargic, no apathy, no nothing, right? They just like hear the alarm go off. They just want to lay down all the time. They don't want to do nothing, right? It is a complete withdrawal and response, chemical reaction to no vision and no purpose, and don't want to get anything done. They're just straight out lazy. They love to make excuses, right? But what they don't realize is it takes like so much energy and so much to do absolutely nothing. It's still taking action. Doing nothing is still taking action and takes a massive, massive, massive amount of energy, right? And what you'll notice is that the retreaters, right? They are often they stay right there with the do nothings. The only difference is they try to make that step, but there's so much fear involved. Like, they take action in reverse. They're going the absolutely wrong direction, right? Like they try to avoid disappointment. They try to avoid failure. They try to avoid negative responses, right? Like they avoid those situations. Like, oh, and they're probably told by many people, like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you shouldn't be with him. Like they do whatever they can to avoid rejection. And I know a lot of us have probably experienced that at some point during our life, right? Like you are here, like you are here right now, which is awesome. However, there will be so many circumstances and people, your loved ones, right, will tell you like, oh, you shouldn't do that. That's too risky. You need to avoid that, right? And rejection comes from being educated over and over and over and over again, growing up as children, right? Like, oh, you're doing too much. You shouldn't be doing this. Like telling you to pull away. We hear it in school all the time, like go get like what is risky and like what is not. I can't tell you how many times I've been told to retreat and don't have the same relationships today because like I didn't listen to them and I didn't do what was safe. And so there's this bubble that people want you to stay in, and we've been told it over and over and over again. And so like we back off. And it happens so often when we're like doing what we're supposed to do, we're on track, right? We lose 5 pounds and then put on 3, and then lose 2, and then put on 4, and then down 7, then put on 10. And we're forced to retreat because of this fear that's really been ingrained in us. And so like retreating and doing nothing end up being the same exact thing. They end up being the same exact thing. And then there's the normal thinkers. And this is what is typical. This is like what is average. This is like what is expected by everybody in America. Average is like what is expected. This like creates like the middle class. And I'm not talking about like financially, I'm talking about like the mindset. And this is really like the most risky place to be in. The absolute most risky place to be in. Average thinking, average thoughts, like normal, typical, just doing what is absolutely necessary. Like avoiding like dangerous situations. Like, like that, like, no, I can't be here. Like, this is where I need to be. Like, steady, predictable, just barely doing what is expected by society. But this is the most risky situation to be in because this is what will waste the most time. When something goes wrong and we're not invested that much in ourselves, everything crashes. We go right back to square one because we weren't truly willing to invest the time because we're afraid of failure. So it's super easy to be right in that realm. Like, oh, we're getting out 2 times a week. Hey, well, I got 2 meals in today. Hey, I got 3 meals today, but, I didn't eat healthy the first 3, but I ate healthy for dinner. Or I didn't eat all day, but at least for dinner, I got this in. At least for dinner, I had chicken and broccoli. Oh, I skipped dinner today, but, I did this, which is good to think positive, but average is only going to get you like average results. This is where the ethics part comes in. This is where look up in the dictionary right now the definition of average. Assumes less than extraordinary. That's what average means. Assumes less than extraordinary. And the alternative is to retreat. But you have to be able to ask yourself. Is average effort living up to like your ethics? It's probably not. This is where the most like insecurity and fear comes in. Because we're stuck right here from being half of what we are actually capable of. But we're accepted by society and we're praised by society because we worked out 3 times a week this week. Because we worked out 2 times a week this week. Hey, I got my 3 workouts in, but I didn't make my 4th. Hey, well, I ate healthy today, but I didn't work out. Hey, that's still good. Which, sure, it's better than it was before, but is it your best? In some cases, that specific situation may be your absolute best right now, today. And you are getting 1% better. But is your effort average to what you could be putting out? And that's really what like success is. It's a direct result of self-satisfaction and knowing that you did your best to become the very best of which you're capable of becoming. So if you worked out today but ate like crap and you knew you could have worked out and ate good, is it your best? Sure, it may be better than you were yesterday, but it's just going to get you average results. So you have to be able to be willing to look at yourself ethically and ask yourself, did I do my very best? And if your effort, I guarantee you, anybody watching this, if you did your absolute very best, I guarantee you could follow this program to a T. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. I guarantee you. Being average effort is only going to create massive amounts of stress levels. And all three, doing nothing, retreating, and ultimately average effort, is they all go together. They all go together. Because being average, right, is only going to result in the long run of back to square one. Because something's going to happen and we're going to go right back to where we were before, 30 pounds heavier. Massive amounts of action. Massive amounts of action. That is the only system that is going to get you the results that you want. It's the only system that's going to be able to do it. And if you really think about it, massive action is natural. It's 100% natural. We are not born at the state of retreating. We are not born in the state of being normal and being average. Look at any kid. One of my favorite things to say is go back to the time when you were a little kid. And think about how fearless you were. Had the biggest goals and the biggest dreams and the biggest vision. Running full steam ahead. Think of any kid out there. They're tripping, they're running, and they're tripping, and they're being excessive, and they're hitting their forehead on things, and they're bouncing around, and think of if you're a parent, you understand kids go wild, right? And you have to, hey, slow down. And so that's just, and sometimes obviously that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we're told that over and over and over and over again from the time where we're toddlers, from the time we were little babies, to all the way through high school and all the way through college. We were told that C is acceptable, but we were born at a natural state. Go deep under the ocean. Go deep under the ocean. There's so much action if you go under sea. Think about it. Think about what it takes to make this earth spin. That is massive action. It is natural. Look at an anthill. Nobody's telling them to slow down there in massive action. That is what it takes for them to survive and for them to thrive and them to build that anthill. They're all moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. Look at a beehive. Is another great example. What it takes, it's natural. It is natural to be in a state of action. It is natural. We are told time and time and time again to retreat, to back off, to be average. That's too risky. Well, I'm telling you here right now that you can be in massive action and you can accomplish every single thing that you want to if you're in a massive action state. We have to be able to be in that state of mind to get the results that we want to. I've been in all phases, and it all takes massive amount of energy. And all three of them are really just a withdrawal of not being willing to be in massive action. The more massive action that you're in, you'll realize more problems will come. More problems are going to come. Good problems in all areas of your life. Any state that I was in, from the time back when I was a kid, and I first realized that I had a stutter. I was in a massive retreat phase or a do nothing phase because I didn't want to be laughed at, or I didn't want to be talked about, or I didn't want to be on camera like I am right now, because I didn't want something permanent on the other side of somebody hearing me stutter. And so I was in a do nothing phase for the longest time, actually up until about a year ago, when I understood this concept and I understood this phase of doing nothing. I could have been providing value for years and years, if I would have had the confidence to be in massive action and be willing to study and put in time and put in energy and put in effort, not just towards this, but towards my results as well. I can't tell you how many times I've been told to retreat, dead broke, still choosing to compete, spending $300 because I'd have to eat a pound of fish a day just on protein, dead broke. But if I would have never set big goals and massive goals, then I would not be where I was at. I was told that I can't afford to do this, and I was told that I can't afford to be that. So many amounts of times. It's natural because your loved ones will tell you that it's not safe. Like retreating, even after, like I got over, like I was still on it, I got into drugs because of all my insecurities, but it still took massive action to do nothing and to party and to do drugs and to not have good relationships and to not be a part of my loved one's life, or to not get results and destroy my body, or sleep all day, or sleep through my alarm. It takes so much energy to become overweight. You might as well be in massive action towards what you actually want, because it takes just as much energy to do nothing, to retreat, or to be average. Even after my addiction and I got sober and I was working at Costco and doing this, and I would just buy the clothes that was average for everybody else wanted to wear. Like buying work clothes. Just being in an average state. An average state all the time. Just go to my 9 to 5, go home, sleep, living with my grandparents, trying to live the average life that they lived. Because that's who I was learning from at the time. It was safe. It was safe to have that type of job. And it was safe to not spend time going to the gym and working out and things like that, because I have to go home and I have to go to sleep and I need to recoup and not be up late hours and be recovered for work and all this other stuff. So I stayed in an average state, listening to what they taught me. Now, my grandma and grandpa, they're very successful people, and my family in general, they do pretty well at this point. When I was growing up, but they did pretty well. And so, I was told to be average. Seriously, I was literally told that they wanted me to go do a trade. They wanted me to go to trade and learn how to weld, something that I'm not passionate about at all and something that I don't love at all, but it was safe. And so when I became an entrepreneur, guess what it did? It caused bigger problems. They started having problems with me. They didn't necessarily they didn't agree with what I was doing, and I understand because they wanted me to be successful, and the safe route was always the way to go. And so sometimes taking time for a workout, right, or hanging out with your husband or your wife or whatever it may be, that's the safe route compared to taking just 30 minutes to work out when you're still going to sleep with them at the end of the night anyway. You're still going to go to bed with them. So sometimes what is necessary is sometimes not enough. Can you imagine? Just imagine this. Would you have ever have met me if I would have been if I'm hey, come check out this average gym with this average product? come check it out with this average portal, this average gym. Oh, come check out this mediocre meal plan. Come check it out. Do you think that if I advertised that way, that I would have met any of you guys? No, you'd have been like, well, that just sounds like average. Why the heck would I want to do that? You wouldn't. You wouldn't want to do that. Like, hey, come check out this average movie on an average screen with like average everything. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Like, hey, come join True Change Fitness and get average results. You can get average results. Like, it doesn't, like, with mediocre people and mediocre coaches and a mediocre program. It doesn't work like that. It's not normal to be in an average state. It is not the human mindset to retreat. We've just been told it time and time and time and time again. So when I tell you guys the I am statements, baby, I am. It's because we have to reprogram our minds to get in that average action state. Or when something gets tough, we're going to do what we were always told to do from the times we were a kid, to retreat. That's not fruitful. So, that's what I got, baby. Massive action. Let's get the results. Okay, like, massively focus on the details. Anything that you think of, think massive action. So, action steps is 5 things that you can do. 3 things that you can do. 3 things that you can do to be in massive action. What are 3 things that you can do that you typically leave, or that you're typically in a retreat, do nothing, or normal state? What 3 things can you take in your health and fitness to put in massive action? What are those 3 things? If you're still watching this, baby, if you're still watching this, post me, tag me, whatever you got to do. Like, hey, this is what I'm taking on. Like, don't just do the ordinary thing and text it to me. Like, do it massive, baby. Make it public. Like, make the declaration. Set massive goals. So, yeah, let's go. Massive, baby. Like, think of how boring this video would be if, like, hey guys, be in massive action. It wouldn't work like that. Massive, baby.